Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
I got a bet I'll make you.
All right, I'm ready.
I bet you Baker Mayfield was the Ferris Bueller of his high school.
Oh, yes, there's no doubt about it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he skipped classes with a fever once in a while. He might have had a few things. He had the principal prowling the halls to try to find him, I would think.
Rudy!
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. That's for sure. Well, that was quite a start for our Steelers, huh?
Holy mackerel.
I was there when young Ben Roethlisberger won a Super Bowl as a rookie. And, boy, is he cooked now. Wow, after all those years. He's got nothing. He passes for 500 yards, and he still looked completely cooked, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And the Brownie lot.
There were some gifts, though. There were some gifts, those batted balls and stuff like that.
A lot of years of frustration for the Brownies coming out in that first quarter. But dumbest coaching decision ever, Tomlin not going for it on 4th and 1 when you got Cleveland all puckered up. Their lead is down to 12 points. They're going to choke away the biggest lead ever. And you punt it to them saying, I want to put them down there in bad field position. How stupid can you be? You got them. You give them life by punting. They have no life left in them. They're sucking wind. And you punt. Boy, was that unbelievable. Really terrible. Just awful decision. And beyond that, it was the best game of the week. I watched quite a bit of football. I didn't watch it. I wasn't totally fixated on it. But I watched that whole Buffalo game. That was a good game. The first one of the weekend was that Buffalo kid, the kid from Wyoming, Josh Allen, is interesting. He'll make the greatest play you've ever seen, and 2 minutes later he'll fumble, and it'll be 3rd and 23. Right. He'll run backwards and all over the place. But he's about 6'5" and 245. He's huge, but he's an athlete. And his completion percentage through his first couple of years was the worst in the league, and now he's turned into a hell of a quarterback. And Buffalo, they won a playoff game as recently as when? Was it
1995?
1995, 25 years. And Judd told me this. You know how far back, if you consider the old Browns with these Browns, because they kept the old Browns records, right?
Yeah. Yep.
You know how far back their road playoff losing streak goes?
I don't know.
Vikings 27, Browns nothing, 1969.
Oh boy!
At Met Stadium when they chopped down Jimmy Brown and beat him and. We were heading off to we then played the Rams in the title game, right? Or no, wait, that was the title game. Wasn't that the game that sent us to the Super Bowl?
So was it 69?
69. I think that was the NFL title game. And then after the beating that they gave the Browns, we were all very excited. And 1969, Vikings 27, Browns 0, I believe. That was.
Yeah, 27.
Was that
Vikings 27, Browns 7.
Was that the NFC championship? NFL championship?
Yep, that was the
game?
NFL championship
that
game.
That came a week after they barely beat the Rams in the game in which Richard Ricey sent the taunting snow photos to Roman Gabriel out in Los Angeles. Roman Gabriel, Los Angeles, California. That was the address. And they got delivered.
Love that.
They got delivered.
That's the needle.
That is the needle. To cut into your... There was no Xeroxing back then. He had to cut into his precious supply of Blizzard headlines and photos from the years and years to mail about 4 different packages of them to Roman Gabriel. Oh. This is what you're being... Because I looked it up to see how he possibly did, and it was set for quite 2-3 weeks that the Vikings would end up playing the Rams because of the way the divisions went and stuff like that. So I guess we knew at least 2 weeks in advance that that would be the opponent in the first round of the playoffs, the Rams.
This is what you will be dealing with.
Well,
Richard,
what'd you say, Richard?
Nuts.
How many? What do you have? 200 funerals a year or 100?
Oh no, 40.
40. So he had a lot of time on his hands.
Oh, yes, he did. 40 times 3, 120. 120 work days if you count. And even on the embalming day, you could still go out and shoot a couple of pheasants, you know. But
sure.
But the embalm, wake, funeral. And the funeral was in the morning, right? So, you know, you're done by 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, you're done. You got the whole day.
2 in the afternoon, so, yeah. So he might have showed up for a couple of funerals in his duck hunting clothes in the morning, too. He might have had to do the quick change in the back of the church there for that one. So.
God,
anyhow, I got to ask you a serious sports question.
Yeah.
Do you have Kaprasov fever?
I can be enticed to have it, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm anxious to see what he's got.
Judd said he went to the scrimmage and he got in on the goalie, and he did that zoom, zoom, zoom thing with his hands and just tapped it in, and the goalie didn't know if he was on foot or horseback.
Mm-hmm. I want to know if he can do stuff.
Yes.
Sounds like he can.
If he's got the magic around the net,
yep,
that's what they need. Mm-hmm. They've had one superstar, and he got hurt. Gaborik, right?
Yep.
They had one guy who was extraordinary. I mean, there's a lot of guys who were very good that they've had come through here, but there was one guy that was extraordinary, Gaborik, and he showed that in the 2003 playoff run, and then he started getting hurt.
Yep.
So
maybe this is the guy.
It's been a long wait. When you look back at North Star Wild history, Goldie was a great player, but he wasn't like one of the top 5 in the NHL. Hartsburg was a great defenseman, probably one of the 5 best in the NHL, but they've never had the guy who Bobby Smith, was really good, but they never had the guy that when you came to another town, people went to the game to make sure they saw him, right? So. Yeah. Although most of the arenas were sold out, at least with the original 6, but if the North Stars came to Pittsburgh, they didn't sell out because of anybody the North Stars had on the ice. So
Dino?
It'd be interesting.
Chicago, maybe Dino.
Dino
in Chicago.
Just to yell obscenities at him.
Right.
I mean, Dino was a great player, but he didn't get you to come out of your seat.
Right. He wasn't elite like that.
When you're going down there exchanging blows with sticks down in front of the net to hold your ground, and then tip-ins don't...
Oh, yeah.
Tip-ins...
You're right. He's sitting there waiting for the tip-in.
Tip-ins don't bring masses to the
right. It doesn't give you tip-ins. Don't give you elite status.
No, they don't.
You got to do stuff.
Have any plans been made? Now in Tennessee yesterday, they allowed 20% capacity.
Yes,
they had about 20,000 people.
Yes. Any
plans? Is the NHL allowing people? For example, in Florida, they might.
Yes. Oh, yeah. There will be places where they can let them in. I think it depends on state rules. I think the NBA are they not letting people in everywhere I'm not sure the NBA is letting. I think the NBA might not be letting anybody in.
I haven't seen anybody yet. Not here for sure.
Not for sure, but here. But then I thought the Wild said they're going to let a certain number in, right? But couple thousand or something.
You would think so.
You know,
you're opening up restaurants today.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean with the state. There's a limit of what it is, but
I don't know.
I am very concerned about the youth of Minnesota, though, being made to wear masks when they're playing hockey.
That would be a tough one.
I couldn't agree with you more.
What is our governor, who, if he's running against the Pillow Man, he'll probably do pretty good. But what are they going to do when the first kid can't catch her breath and ends up in the hospital and on life support, basically?
Or if the kid wears glasses, it'll fog up the glasses.
Yeah, and can't see the puck down below.
You had an orthopedic surgeon write a great piece in the Minneapolis paper last week saying exactly this, that he's vehemently opposed to these kids wearing masks. And he cited a lot of reasons why it's dangerous.
They can't see the puck down by their feet, right?
Right. You can't see the puck. You can't breathe. It'll fog your glasses.
You give it that, that look when your mask is too high up to your eyes and you open your kind of your mouth like this. That's what the kids will be doing with the puck handling.
Mm-hmm.
They won't be able to see.
Governor Walz looks like he comes out there kind of dressed like the common man, and not the
13, 14,
man. Not that one.
Couple 13,
but he comes
14.
out with he comes with a
regular guy look,
work shirt and the whole thing. But he's a stubborn SOB, man. He's got a hard time admitting he's wrong, doesn't he?
He does.
He's wrong on this.
He does.
He's wrong on this thing.
And 100% common sense would say, this isn't the answer. I don't know what the perfect answer is, but it's not this.
I know that the father of the grandkids went to some place to pay $150 a piece for some face shields.
Okay.
So if you wear those, you don't have to wear the masks, apparently.
Okay.
Why do gymnasts not have to wear them?
I have no idea.
Wrestlers do not have to wear them.
Well, wrestlers... I think we know why wrestlers can't wear them, because they wouldn't stay on too long, would they? Unless you wore the ones like Dr. M used to wear, and the guy that we would unmask. That they would, and those have the nose and mouth open. They didn't have those guys wearing those. So yeah, they can't admit they're wrong. They're 100% wrong on this.
Plus, hockey equipment stinks, and those masks are going to stink. God.
Plus, hockey players get in tangles.
Yes.
But they don't stay in them. They're not like, it's a spread-out game. So is basketball.
Yep.
Right.
And it's stupid. Wrestling, you got two guys kissing each other, and you don't have to wear it. And, so... It's
hockey. You're zipping around doing stuff. Football, you're always next to someone. You're going to huddle up. You're lining up. You're tackling someone.
Yes. And I think we survived that with very few. We didn't have many high school football games canceled. I don't think, did we? We had a few. We had a few.
They had like the makeshift playoffs and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is because of COVID.
Correct.
We didn't have a whole lot of it. But this is. There's the first week there's going to be some emergency situation with a kid, and maybe that'll wake them up, and hopefully the kid survives and that wakes them up. But,
plus, you're sucking air so hard you'll suck the mask into your
you'll
mouth.
Swallow it unless one of those blue ones I wear. That maybe lasts 2 minutes. I don't like.
I think I ate another mask.
I don't like walking up steps with them, for goodness sakes. I don't like walking up steps anyway. But,
what do you think of that Gopher basketball team? They can't win on the road.
Unpredictable. Yes, and it's for 100 years we explained that by saying, well, hostile crowds, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's unexplainable now, right? How you can go on the road and nobody's screaming at you. There might be 1,000 people in the arena, and you still stink.
Yeah.
I think Coach Pitino's got to start working on his halftime speeches.
Mm-hmm. He needs to inspire them.
They're usually within a few at halftime, and then come streaming out of the locker room and don't score for about 8 minutes each time. They can be pretty good when they're making 3-pointers, but they don't have any depth, and they're ordinary. They've had some games where look like they were more than ordinary, but they're...
Will the Detroit Lions of the NBA, the Timberwolves, will they ever even become ordinary?
Not this year, I don't
know.
How about Cat, though? A Warrior. He comes back with basically a soft cast on that wrist and played Saturday, and then didn't play Sunday, and they won. But they're just... The big thing for them is if they're going to stink, they want to stink enough so they get one of the top 3 picks. Mm-hmm. Because if it's not in the top 3, then it goes to Golden State. So if it's like 4, if they finish 4 or anywhere else, it goes to the Warriors because it's from the Wiggins for D'Angelo trade.
It doesn't matter. They're going to screw it up anyway.
Up at number 1.
What? Do the Wild open this week?
Yes, Thursday.
At L.A., right?
Thursday, right? Thursday in L.A., right? Yeah, they're out there for 4, right?
I think so.
And then they come home and play 6. They're home for 6.
No team got robbed more of travel problems than the Wild.
Yeah, but I think the back-to-back, if you're trying to reduce travel, is a good idea, don't you?
Yeah.
Play them this way. It's a completely novel approach. You wonder, if long-term, as a cost-saving measure to reduce the number of flights, if now they all have private planes and stuff, but you wonder if they'll do this. If it'll become the norm in the NHL, back-to-backs.
Yeah, they got the Kings Thursday at 9, Kings Saturday at 8.
Oh, they give them 2 days?
Yep.
Yeah, but 1 day off, okay.
And then the 18th, they go to the Duck, and then the 20th, they go to the Duck.
And then they come home for 6, right?
Yep, Sharks come home for 22nd and 24th.
Let's run through next weekend's NFL games. You got L.A. at Green Bay.
And now here's Joe. I was looking at the schedule today and said, they usually love to have the Packers, when they have a home game on this second weekend, to play on Saturday night.
Right.
In the hope of having vile weather, right?
I agree.
Because it's good for the ratings.
Yep.
People love it when they're all freezing to death. The famous last Favre game ever as a Packer. It was, 1 below or some damn thing. But then I found out why they letting them play in the daytime. Because the night game is Buffalo.
Which has even a better chance of bad weather.
Better chance of misery. Better chance of howling snow with the wind coming off the lake. And they get probably, in a normal winter, get twice the snow that Green Bay does. So
you got, so it's L.A. at Green Bay. That's 3:30 our time. And then Baltimore at Buffalo is 7:15 our time.
That'll be a very good game.
Sunday, you got Cleveland at Kansas City. That's the 2 o'clock game.
Yes.
And then Tampa Bay at New Orleans, which is a 5:40 p.m. game our time. And I just don't like games in New Orleans because I just hate the building.
Right.
It does still have that dark look about it.
It does.
It does. Dank. Like very Eastern European.
And I, of course, haven't seen it since they redid it after the hurricane. So it might look a little different than when you and I were there.
Yeah.
But, man, I was in that building a lot in those early years when they were having every third Super Bowl and NCAA Final Fours and everything else.
I was there for fights and Super Bowls.
They were, of course, the all-timer was I was there for with the Twins for the baseball weekend that they had in the first time, and they basically had no warning tracks. So everybody's life was in danger, and then Joe Niekro was pitching and Cliff Johnson was catching, and it was from me to the old studio, from home plate to the back stop, and the knuckleball started getting by Cliff, and Cliff just started walking after him. I think the Twins struck out 5 times in the first inning and scored 4 runs.
Say, boys, can we do the rare first for Monday Night Sports Talk? Can we take a break? There's a phone call I absolutely have to take.
We can do that.
Could you do that, please?
Yes.
What do you have, Pat?
My $1 million idea.
Yeah.
Red hat.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Red hat, kind of the baseball hat, kind of the low riding bill.
I think I can picture it.
1-termer.
Why are you inciting this riot here?
The one-termer, because that, they're trying to agitate this guy by impeaching him and doing all this other stuff. All you got to do is say, you're a one-termer.
That's going to
drive him nuts.
That wafer,
right?
that wafer thin skin he's got, that's going to get right to him.
All you got to say, hey, one-termer, how you doing? The old Dana Carver. They're going to have to bring Dana Carvey back as
George Bush.
That's Trump.
I'm
a one-termer. He was a one-termer.
So Carter was a one-termer, right?
Carter was a one-termer.
H.W. was a one-termer.
There haven't been that many.
And Trump is a one-termer.
I don't think Jerry Ford counts because he replaced Nixon.
Right, he wasn't voted in.
He did a half-termer. But it hasn't happened that often. It's hard for an incumbent to lose.
Do you sense? Let's fast forward. COVID's done. Where the country is
Where
open
are we
again.
6 months from now?
It might be 2 years, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Are we ever going to be able to laugh about this and go, holy, what was going on?
I don't know. It's.
I hope so.
If we could throw the death angle out of the riot there, it would be a little easier. That's for sure. So, anyhow, it's.
Those are some mean people.
By the way. Iran will get bombed between now and January 20th.
Oh, great, Pat.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
So.
That's
You're calling it.
That's happening. That's happening. Yep, that's happening.
Okay.
By the way,
got that going for us.
The best one I saw is, have you seen the theory that Don, this is from that side of it's from the Pillow Man side of the argument here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He was an Now, I didn't see this from the Pillow Man, but I saw it from some of his people. That he was in Amarillo, the president, for 2 days this week, consulting with the most secret military site in the United States and consulting with all the leading generals from all the branches.
Oh, my Lord.
And there's something going on here, and we're happy about it.
Where are you getting this?
Very important sources. Who shall remain nameless.
I got into the Pillow Man rat hole, which is really funny. Because let me just say this about Pillow Man. He is not signed on to the peaceful transition.
He is not
he's not
sworn.
He's not sworn on to the peaceful transition. And some of the rat holes he can take you in are pretty hysterical. Anyway.
So it's the Pillow Man's contention that Trump met with military to pull off.
No, not him, but some people who end up getting retweeted or end up are in his. No, not he didn't. He didn't report that. He might have retweeted it, but there's now a belief out there that Don has spent 2 days secretly in Amarillo. They secreted Air Force One out of Washington D.C. and he spent 2 days in Amarillo, and now he's back. But he was consulting with the most important military people in the country, and we may have a hope here. I don't know that this thing still is not over.
Boy, I love your optimism. I hope 6 months from now we can go. I don't think so.
It's interesting. Let's just start inoculating people, and we'll all be happy. What's
taking so long?
Let's
go.
Give me the shot.
Let's stop hoarding it. Let's start giving it to people.
Let's go here.
Yes. What are we waiting for?
Where is tonight's game, by the way? Is it in Miami? The college game?
It is in Miami, right?
Yeah, Hard Rock?
It is in, right, Hard Rock Stadium. It is in, that's basically just remodeled Joe Robbie. That one's getting a little age on it, man.
Yeah.
That one, but that'll be a good game. Ohio State's really good. The only trouble with college football, Joe, is, it ain't going to be over before the news. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It's, they're probably kick off about 7:15. Damn thing, if you're lucky, it'll be over at 11:30. Their halftime.
Pat, it won't go that long.
Oh God, their halftimes take forever.
Oh, okay.
They stop the clock at every opportunity. Two very high-powered offenses, which will be scoring a lot, and it'll It's going to be probably 50-something to 40-something, and it's going to take 4.5 hours. Because the halftime will be 25 minutes.
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't know if they
Do we have a big halftime?
I don't think we do the big one. We aren't doing the pandemic. We aren't doing. The Super Bowl is going to do something, though, right?
Well, the Super Bowl has to do something. I'm looking that up right now.
I don't even know where the Super Bowl is.
Is it Miami?
Miami. That might be Miami, too. Boy, that'd be quite a doubleheader for Miami. I don't think so. I don't know where the Super Bowl is.
The Super Bowl.
Tampa.
Tampa, okay. Yeah.
Is that where we were going to be, or were we going to be in Miami?
No, we were going to be in Fort Lauderdale. We were going to be on Fort Lauderdale Beach.
On the yacht.
On the yacht, yes.
Right next to John D. McDonald's busted flush houseboat.
That'd be fantastic.
Every time I tell that story to someone, and I tell it a lot, during football season around Super Bowl, they look at me and they just say, "You poor soul, you have to live with that the rest of your life." Not missing the kick, just not going to get on the yacht.
Gary Anderson.
Oh, my God.
Schultze, man, still my favorite moment in journalism. Gary Schultzenberg. Gary shows up for training camp. He doesn't have his second foot out the car, and Schultze says, "Gary, have you recovered from missing the field goal?"
Oh, Schultze was one of a kind.
And he wasn't. He was a producer, but Schmitty said, "Go over and get that guy, will you?" And,
yeah, right. Schultze was all right. He was a good guy, soft-spoken guy. I don't know what he's doing these days.
So, it's. The Super Bowl is Tampa. Huh? That's good for Florida. They let everybody do whatever. We let everybody do whatever they want to down in Florida, right?
He's not locked up, Patrick.
No.
You could go down to your estate and go out to eat and the whole deal.
I could. That's right. Except, as I said, I don't want to get in line for the 75-year-old in line for the vaccines down there. That could be a long line. But they had 8-hour line. When the wife used to rent the month of February out on in this little development out on North Vanderbilt Beach Road, right? Between Bonita. It was off the water, but it was between Bonita and Naples. And we used to get, in the month of February, we would get the Naples paper delivered every year. They would automatically deliver it. And mostly to read the letters to the editor.
Oh, they're fantastic.
To see what the old gals were mad about. Generally, it was traffic and snowbirds, and there were proposals such as snowbirds should have a special decal on their cars and rent-a-cars, and they will have to stay in the right lane. They can't, like if you're on a 2-lane road, you got to get over where the
slow lane.
You got to get in the slow lane. And
you've always been concerned too if you see the fish on the back of a car.
Yeah, they drive very slow. The fish. Don't get behind the fish. They're going to stop and let somebody get in front of them because
they're too nice.
Yeah, but with the pandemic, the letters to the editor in the Naples paper, because there was no ID required. You didn't have to be a Florida resident when you got in those lines for the vaccine last week.
Got it.
Right.
So there were even reports of Canadians being in line, getting shots. Canadian license. There's Canadian license plate. I cannot imagine the letters to the editor from the old bats who were getting beat out by Canadians for the vaccine.
That's a very healthy newspaper.
Corzo's former employer.
Yes.
Do you know why?
Because of the age group.
That's it. They still read the paper.
They still do. Yes, they do. It is. Well, it was. I don't know if they're as successful as they were, but they were. When we were getting it 7-8 years ago, that thing was fat. Yeah. Man, down there, it was great. But I usually look at the front page and then go to the sports section. Down there, I'd go immediately to the editorial page to see what, and they would have like most everybody does have it next to their editorial, they'd have the letters, but then they'd have another page of letters when things really heated up and people were mad at some damn thing. I can imagine the insults they are exchanging on the presidential situation too down there. It's got to be would be fantastic.
Did you see any of the golf over the weekend?
Yeah. Oh man, I love that.
What a scenery! What scenery!
I've been up there, and it's more beautiful on TV than it is in person because they give you, you get in better places, Mm-hmm. But God, it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. How about who's the guy? Mark Ralphie. How smart was that guy? Well, he moved out there 30 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So they still break him out. I don't think he flies to the States anymore to do golf tournaments, does he?
Well, I think he does. I hear him frequently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, but he's still. I mean, he's like their guy that when they're in Hawaii for 2 weeks, he's on all the time, giving them Hawaii lore and what this place was. And
yesterday he was warning people. I'm watching, and he says, "Boy, there's a rough seas out there. You got to be careful if you're going out there." And I said, "Mark, well, I'm standing here in St. Paul, Minnesota. What the hell do you think I'm going to do?"
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's gorgeous up there though, Kapalua. It's on top of the hill. And
is that Maui?
Yes, it's Maui, and down if you're facing the ocean, down to the left is a ways down the left is Lahaina, and that area, and then around the right is they got the mountain range over there where I've stayed in Maui a couple of times. They have you sit there and you look at that gorgeous weather, and they have a mountain range there. That there's a valley there that gets 400 inches of rain a year. Wow! So every day it rains there, even if it's gorgeous everywhere else. So if you're going to buy in Maui, don't buy up in that mountain range because you're not going to see much sun.
Can you fly directly to Maui, or you got to go to Honolulu?
I think you can fly directly to Maui now. Yeah, we never did when we flew out there, but. We never flew directly to Maui, but I think you can now, I believe, or you could before the pandemic. I don't know what the hell it's done to it now, but it's we stayed in Maui 4 or 5 times. But the worst thing we ever did though was the time we got this great rate one December in Kauai. So Katie found this great rate in Kauai, so we rented this condo. And right next to the Plantation Golf Course, which is a famous golf course, and got this great December rate. We didn't realize that was the rainy side of the island in the winter.
Oh.
We saw the sun for about 20 minutes.
How great was that rate? Good rate. Huh? You got a really good rate.
If you like to sit there and say, raining again. So you got to be careful out there.
Never been there, man.
Oh,
Never been there.
Why have you missed Hawaii?
Kid I used to was there once a month for about 2 years.
Yeah, well, Jim's back, Jim's
living there now permanently,
Jim's there
isn't
for life, yeah. He's I talked to him a couple of days ago. He's got his post-military career. Once things get cranking out there again, because they have pretty good shutdown there, even on the military bases. He's going to be driving the golf cart at the Marine Golf Course out on
what a retirement!
Canny Ojai Bay, so you get to see beauty every day out there.
Wow!
But he's got to find not for the money.
Something to do.
The other thing is he's going back to college.
Well, yeah.
To take advantage of the GI Bill because he's got 5 years of the GI Bill. So
what's he going to do?
I have no idea.
Underwater basket weaving.
I think he's going to a JUCO.
Okay.
Yeah, because his career at the U didn't last long, as he said.
Yeah.
Every time he went to the library, it was the one without books. It was the one.
The bar.
Was the bar. So, anyway.
Oh Lord.
Pat, you can dine at a restaurant in Minneapolis tonight, but
That's
you can't
good.
go to the bar.
Picked up at Murray. You can't now. Murray's
You can't sit at the bar at Murray's.
But they have tables in the bar.
I believe so.
So you can sit next to can't sit at the bar, but you can sit next to the bar.
Figure that out for us.
You're at the bar.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least I actually stopped there, picked up a takeout order on Saturday, I believe.
Get those good garlic bread.
Tim said that they were waiting till Wednesday. One reason being, when they reopen these things, it's not like these guys can, they got to get food back and stuff.
Right, right.
But boy, downtown, I wonder how many of them are even going to bother.
Yeah.
Well, again, some of the owners are saying 50% they can't hire back their full staff. And
here's the problem. In the restaurant business, you're 50% Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, probably Sunday, but Friday and Saturday, you make your money being 100%, right?
Yep.
So that's the, that's the problem. So,
what time were you there Saturday?
Picked up at 5:00.
What was downtown like?
Nobody down there.
Ghost town?
Yeah, nobody down there. Then McCormick, not McCormick, the Ocean Air. I don't know if they didn't look like they were open. I didn't see anybody there. And then for takeout, and then the other restaurants in downtown, I didn't see open for takeout. Not many of them were open for takeout anyway. I don't think Hoyt's has been open through this whole damn thing. I think they're maybe the one period where they let them open, but.
I saw Jack's was going to reopen, so if you're looking for a place to go
get
as
them
well.
Jack's.
Yep.
Yeah,
Billy
we'll
Kozlak.
get we'll get the Jack. We'll probably go to Jack's this week. Give them a little business.
Yeah, they're because that's a tough go. The to-go orders for steak are a little more difficult for Pat or Murray's.
Oh yes,
Tim.
you do. But thing about Murray's is. You order the garlic toast and then whatever it is, salad or some damn thing. But you got to get the garlic toast.
And you're just popping them in like pieces of popcorn on your way back.
I had 4 for breakfast this morning. And boy, a guy's got to give himself a good brushing of the teeth before he mingles into public.
You need to swish.
So, I don't know. When are we going to start living life again?
Yeah, we need to start living life again.
Today. Everything's open today.
No, not everything's
Everything's open.
Yeah, we got poor kids out there. I'm a lot more worried about my 2 hockey-playing grandkids with their masks on than I was when they had COVID. So
yeah, but the dad got them shields, so they don't have to wear them.
Yeah, that's right. But what about the poor kids who don't have shields?
Why don't we start a GoFundMe and get all these hockey players the shield?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
They can't cost that much, can they?
I think it's $100 or something.
They got to be official.
Yeah.
They can't just be, shields are us.
Some saran wrap.
Within a week, they will say okay, but they're too damn stubborn to announce it ahead
right
of time.
off the bat, right?
Yeah. They're too damn stubborn to announce it ahead of time, but they will. Within a week, they're going to say, okay, you don't have to wear masks when you play basketball and hockey. So, I don't know.
All right.
Let's have
I would not have wanted to play hockey with a mask on.
No.
Hell no. You're sucking air at that point.
So
after
when
that
the Wild
2-minute
play,
chip,
do they have to wear masks?
No.
they're not ruled by the high school league, so.
No, but it's not the high school league. It's the governor. The high school
I don't know
league,
what
the high school league just went along with this. That's the governor making it's a state rule on that.
There might
but
be a
they're letting
loophole.
the Gopher hockey team play without them.
Yeah, there might be a loophole for the Gophers and for the Wild.
Plus, I think the Wild could afford the shields if they had to make them play that way,
yes.
right?
Yes.
I don't know. I think the Wild are going to be a playoff team, though. Now that we have Kaprizov, and if they
got to stay up late Thursday to see this Kaprizov.
I hope he can do stuff.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to come over. I don't have FSN.
Yeah, well, I'm available.
I'll
social distance.
I'll sit 10 feet away with a mask on.
Hey Joe, what do you think about that play? Kaprizov is scoring a goal.
I'm taking my oxygen every day and my temperature, and as long as I still have my taste, unfortunately, and my oxygen's okay,
you're golden,
and my temperature's okay, I can't have it, can I? I can't have it.
I know a couple, married couple that got it at Christmas.
Yes.
The symptoms were reasonably mild. They were tired and had the chills and then seemed to bounce back from that completely. But both of them still have not recovered the taste of sense or smell.
That's
the taste of smell or taste, I mean.
That's the big one. That's the one you'd like to have when you're been putting it on like me in the pandemic.
Right.
But you'd like to lose that one. But that's I've heard that from a lot of people that's the big indicator when you lose your taste of smell.
Every morning when I wake up, I check to see if can I.
You know what? We still got a little garlic. I should just save one piece of garlic toast for like 30 days.
You won't be able to. It's too good.
If you taste it, if you can't taste the garlic toast, get to the hospital.
Right.
Get to the hospital before it's too late.
All right, Patty.
Yeah, let's call it a day. We kind of drifted. I think we're depressed by what's happening to this once great nation.
This used to be one hell of a country.
It was a good country. We were top 5 at one time.
I think
we were top 5.
I'd give it top 1. How about we were 1?
Yeah, I never put us in the top 1.
No, because our humility would keep us saying, we're up there, but we can't be number 1.
I don't know if we're top 12 right now. I don't know where we are.
I think we're in the top 25. Mumbai, India is ahead of us.
Yeah,
we're hurting is where we are.
Madagascar. We're tied with Madagascar.
Liechtenstein. I mean, what's going on? Where are they?
I talked to Tony. I did that column on Tony, and I said...
That's a nice piece.
I said, Tony, did this remind you of the fall of Batista? And he got a little chuckle out of that, even though he was stuck out in the boonies and never had TV. So
I didn't know Tony was married to a farm kid from the Dakotas.
Oh, Gordette, she's the greatest, man.
Now, how many kids do they have? You mentioned grandchildren.
I forgot to... I got to 1,100 words, and I wasn't trying to add anything.
Yeah.
So, 3 kids, 4 grandkids, but a brood of... She comes from 10, and he comes from 10.
Jeez.
And the nieces and nephews, they go to Cuba. When they go to Cuba, I think she told me they bring presents for 131 of Tony's relatives.
Oh, my gosh.
And they go every year, and they take school supplies and stuff like that for the schools and stuff in these steamer trucks. And because it's Tony, everybody lets them get away with it. But
they didn't go this year.
They didn't. They couldn't go this year. They were going to go in. They were going to go in November. I think they were going.
Did they not go because of COVID?
Yes. Travel was.
Right.
I don't even know.
Restricted travel and leaving that to chance.
Yes, but I didn't get into this either, but her Spanish is way better. She learned Spanish by listening to Tony and his buddies, and then buying a little,
booklet. Little cheater.
And her Spanish has been impeccable for.
Is her Spanish better than Tony's English?
Well, she speaks it without any, maybe if you're Spanish and listening to her, no, but when you're English, it is. But Tony, I'm fine with Tony. People still make fun of Tony, but part of Tony's problems is he gets excited and he talks a little fast once in a while. But I tell you what, I've been inundated with people saying, I ran into Tony at such and such, and he was the greatest guy that, the thing about him, everybody in the state knows him from someplace, whether it was a drugstore in, Monticello or wherever it was, they run into him and get their photo taken with him,
He had a great line at the nativity of his sports shirt stag. Questions were open to the field, and one guy, I don't remember who it was, he was just fumbling over he couldn't say a straight sentence. Yeah, he was a little nervous, and he just couldn't get his head right. And Tony said, "Can you please ask that in English?" It was hilariously funny. Or can you try English? Maybe that would be better for you.
You know what I think that I've found out about those two when I've known it, but I found out by interviewing them for this. They've enjoyed life. Mm-hmm.
How's the game of flaws over at Tony's house?
I think the game of flaws is played with less enthusiasm over at that house.
I love that.
For instance,
yes,
I was telling Rook this, Joe, and then we can leave. But there was a house repair that took place that had to be taking place in our house, and it was completed today. And the wife had detected what the problem might be. It involved a toilet and whether it was sitting properly. And she said it wasn't. And she said, that's not sitting right. There's something, there's something wrong.
Right.
And you got to get them over here because there's a little leakage. So I came upstairs after it was being fixed and said, you were right. It was such and such. That don't do it.
Ooh.
You were right. Does not pass muster.
What happened after that?
Hell, what?
Gloating. You got to have the gloating.
Oh.
You got to have the gloating, right?
How would that have been handled with Tony and Gordette?
I think they would have said, "Well, good. I'm glad we got that fixed."
And then went,
"Yeah, right. Good. Well, good. That's fine. Yeah.
Shall we go for a walk?"
I don't think there's any gloating when one of them's right and the other's wrong.
It was probably pointed out.
I have no experience with the gloating whatsoever.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. I never said she was wrong.
Right.
No, you were.
I just said, yeah, maybe. I don't know. How would I know? As I said to somebody else, if a light bulb goes out, I got the answer.
Yep.
You go to the light bulb storage place downstairs and you get a new one.
Yes.
And you replace it. Beyond that, I've never expressed an opinion on what might be wrong in the house. I don't express an opinion.
Right.
I don't know. I don't.
Garage door doesn't work properly. You call the garage.
Hey, did you
door.
ever get that fixed?
Yes.
What was wrong? New motor.
You were right. You were right, Joe.
That's not going to do it, Pat.
This is
You
how it's
were
supposed
right.
to.
No.
Grease it. You told me last week to grease it. When's the last time you greased it? Right.
I think I did.
You were right, Joe.
You told me. The
How
guy
will you handle
greased
this?
it, and she's going zoop, 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 zoop.
Yep.
So don't wait 12 years to grease it.
Don't wait 12 years to grease it.
That's the more.
Try to grease it every day.
This guy says about once every 3 or 4 months. I said, well, that would be ahead of my usual pace. So basically, that's all he did. That's all he did.
Well, you got an honest guy.
Yeah.
He could have sold you a motor.
Yeah, this guy's okay. Not only that, he's a handyman. So next time I got another problem,
you're
I
good.
can call him. So.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
See you later.
Yeah.
Good.
All right,
All
boys.
right. Thanks, guys.
Yep.